Hi, and welcome to the Ada K Show. I am Ada K. Brown, and am currently a criminal justice major, and I'm a deaf courtroom commentator. Grab a cup of Java, and let's dive in. Good morning, and I'm Basie this morning. Good morning, everybody. I'm Ada K. Welcome to the show. We are going to have a fun day in trial today. Jason Chen is expected to testify, but will it be today or tomorrow? We'll see. Also, today is inaugurational day. We do Pineapples, no politics, but this is a historic day, so we will hop in and see the inauguration when it happens and then hop back over to court. But I want you to welcome my fabulous interpreter, partner in crime, Miss Lady Di. Good morning. There she is. Good morning, love. How are you doing this morning?
I'm fine this morning. How are you?
I am cold. What's the temperature where you are?
Not as cold as where you are.
What is your temperature?
I don't know. Probably about 35, 40.
Okay. And what state do you live in?
South Carolina.
But the Carolinas and all them are going to get really cold the next couple of days, though, aren't you? And there's ice and snow that's supposed to form along starting in Houston. Houston's supposed to get almost 10 inches of snow, and it's going to run along the border of the ocean border of Louisiana over across the top of Florida, kind of hook up into the Carolinas. It's a possibility.
Let me see. Siri, what's the temperature in Little River, South Carolina?
Did you say Pflugerville?
No, Little River.
Oh, okay, Little River. We have a Pflugerville. That's why I was like, what? And near Austin. So anyway, right when I woke up, it was 21 degrees.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, from someone who hails from Alaska. I don't hail from Alaska, so that no bueno for me, honey.
My perspectives of temperatures and cold and age have all changed after providing companionship for a woman that was 97 and hated old people. She hated old people.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, my perspectives have truly changed.
I'm sorry, I've got the courtroom feed up. They're not up and running yet. And oh my gosh, I've never seen the chat fly so fast. I have the presidential inaugurational site up as well, and the chat is running so fast it's blurry. I was like, can I have chat like that?
I'm sure.
How many people are in this chat this far? Oh, 4.05 million people are watching this channel. And there's 136,000 plus in chat. So
I want you to tell us what every person is saying. Not.
So what we're going to do, guys, and it's only because we do have a few deaf followers. They reached out to us. I don't know what time you have to hop off. Hopefully after, well, let's see. It's going to be your same time because he is sworn in and his official time of the transfer of power actually happens at the stroke of noon, literally. So you should still be with us by then. But I do want you on for the inaugurational because good morning, Ronnie. We will be interpreting the inaugurational ceremonies if she is available. We will not be listening to the music and the concerts because of copyright strikes, and I don't wanna get that. But the part where he gets sworn in, we can do that. As much as I'd love to just live stream the whole thing, I can't. I don't need a copyright. I am still looking and still waiting for the live to start for the trial. And I'm looking, I'm looking, I'm looking, I'm looking. RA, God love you. You have way too many buttons now. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 freaking switchers. Dude, he's more than a TV man. Anyway, I just checked him out just to make sure because he's got the same feed I have. We all have the same feed.
I'm looking for me. I have an appointment at 10 that is for 2 hours. So I will be hopping off at 9:45.
You said you had nothing.
No, I said I have a 10 o'clock.
I thought you said you had 2:00.
No, 10.
Ah,
Sorry.
uh, okay.
And it's been on the books for a bit.
And it goes till when?
It's supposed to be for 120 minutes, which is 2 hours.
Okay, can you hop back in on after that?
Yeah.
That's great. Maybe it will end before the actual swearing in ceremony. If not, I'll be doing it.
It's very possible.
Yeah, see, people don't understand. When an interpreter gets booked, they get booked for a minimum of 2 hours. Whether you use 15 minutes or whether you use the full 2 hours is on you. It's because a lot of times, it takes a lot to switch from appointment to appointment, and it just guarantees that that they're gonna have that time slot covered.
And
Um,
that includes normally drive
Drive
time.
time, but you're not driving.
No,
Yeah, it normally includes drive time
no, it
and
includes coffee time.
Huh?
I said, that includes coffee time.
It can include coffee time, if that's where you wanna go with that. Sure. I'm such a snot. Well, I've tried to do coffee time in my own. People don't know, I do some interpreting. I haven't done a lot in a while because I'm doing this, but, I've had people, tell me that I shouldn't have that kind of time. They shouldn't be paying for my coffee time. I went,
Yeah.
uh, but it is what it is. Okay. Oh, I don't like this stream, but I guess I'm gonna have to use this stream. Okay.
I
We
worked in my office so much over the last 2 days. So now in front of me looks so nice, but over to the side of me, oh, it's a disaster. But that's okay.
I know I was supposed to clean my office too. My backdrop thing fell down, and I haven't felt like cleaning it. Okay, I'm gonna keep it there. Watch here. I want to start going over a road thus far, if I can. Document 2, I'm gonna close that.
Oh,
Save.
staples and my stapler.
Uh-huh.
I said I found staples and my stapler.
No, that's not what I want. There it is. Okay, so I wanna talk about a road thus far, until we actually get, um, the trial up and going. Diane, that means I'm gonna cover you. I won't be able to see you.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I can see you through the bottom. We're good. Um, I, start my college starts tomorrow. Actually, I've already had an assignment, but I start my full college tomorrow, and I start my ASL class tonight. I teach, so yay. All right, day 1, January 13th. Prosecution and defense deliver their opening statements, but before that, there was drama about what can be allowed into the courtroom.
Of course there was.
There was an expert witness that was going to be testifying, and they had a voir dire. Witness number one was Jasmine Pace's mother. She testified that she and her daughter were almost in constant contact, and that they saw and spoke one another multiple times a day. So she immediately panicked when she did not hear from her daughter. It was a particularly unusual because being the mother was trying to notify Pace, the daughter, that her grandmother had died. Yeah, that would bring alert to me if I was trying to contact my daughter and my mother had passed on and my daughter and nobody was she was not answering. That would be of a high concern for me. Home, let me see if it's over on their homepage. Day ago. I don't know why they're not live unless it's because of the holiday, but we'll be doing another stream. Okay. Um, Day 2 was January 14th. Investigator Zach Crawford, homicide detective with the Chattanooga Police, came in and testified that the blood tested was fast-tracked and confirmed to have come from Jasmine. Crawford was present for the initial autopsy, noted that Pace was menstruating when she passed on, and a menstrual sanitary pad was found on her, matched the one that was found by the dumpster. What a time to be unalived when you're doing that. I mean, that's horrible. Crawford testified, that's a woman's nightmare. Crawford testified the photos in the North Face backpack on a bed was consistent with the backpack Shin was seen with after the homicide, and the items in the backwork were consistent with being with Shin's items. Crawford said that Shin had an an injury to the right palm upon being taken into custody, which was consistent with the knife slipping. Okay. Detective Stephanie Bulkey, Bulkley, recalled the discovery of the suitcase along the riverbanks. He and his team photographed the suitcase, gloved up, and opened it. Book said it was often found discarded items and animals in suitcase, so they were hesitating to assume it was Jasmine. He saw a black trash bag and used a gloved hand to feel what was inside and felt a human head, shoulders, and torso, where for more certain that it was Jasmine. So they did not touch it anymore. And they called CSI crime scene investigators to do this. And they called their supervisor and called the medical examiner. So day 3 on 115, the crime scene medical investigator Michelle Johnson testified about searching Shin's apartment. First thing she noticed was coffee table was out of alignment with the couch. Behind the couch, she saw that there was suspected to be blood on the floor. Says she saw what she suspected of blood in every room. So she found the glass fragments. She said that Blue Star reaction was very intense, and it was. We saw the photos. It was very intense, um, stronger than a normal reaction. The most she said she has ever seen. Noted Blue Star forensic is a blood visualizing agent based on luminol, luminol, used in forensic. It spray it on like you would Febreze. You spray it, and when it comes in contact with blood, it starts to glow blue or purple, depending on the strength. Admitted that this blue star suggested the presence of blood. Doesn't confirm it because it's based off of protein, but that's when blood samples are important. Testified that she did not confirm Blue Star results using a secondary test. Said that it was in her opinion that someone tried to clean up the crime scene. Admitted it was possible for police could have contaminated the crime scene, and admitted the initial search of Shin's apartment could have been more thorough. The reason why is because they did not move the bed. And when somebody eventually, the bed was moved by a cleaning crew getting ready to resurface the apartment for a new tenant. When moving the bed, it discovered a big bloody stain. Day 14, day 4, 116. The testimony continued. Jurors were shown the crime scene photo of Shen's apartment. Investigators said a lot of blood was in the apartment and someone had attempted to clean it up. So true. I'm looking. Yay. Okay. We got the feed I want. So I don't have to worry about copyrights. Yay. Day 6, 1/18/25. The first witness of the defense called was Courtney Brewer, Brewer, the neighbor of Jason Chen. She said she was awoken in the middle of the night with a loud scream. There was a scream that startled me out of my sleep. I checked my phone to see the time because I was going to call 911. It was around 2 a.m. There was a voice that was screaming words, the words I couldn't fully understand. I skipped a day by accident. That's okay. That was a boring day. No, I'll go back and grab it later. This day was a lot of information. Brewer said the Brewer, described the scream as she heard as a female voice, and it was very, very empathetic and distressed. She was very concerned. Quote, I thought I may be heard the tail end of a fight. I only heard one voice. I just assumed it was an argument. She was asked if she heard any crying. The voice that came after the scream, it kind of sounded like when you were upset and trying to prove a point and crying at the same time. So it was just kind of garbled. I wouldn't say it was crying behind it, but it was garbled. Hi, Natasha. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Ronnie. Everybody, it's a slow morning. It's cold out there. Stay warm. Let's continue. Weiss asked Brewer is the Weiss is the prosecutor. Asked Brewer if she called 911 at the point. She replied no. She explained, quote, because by the time I settled down from being abruptly woken up, I heard footsteps from across the door slam. I thought it had just been a normal apartment argument. Everything was kind of calmed down. She continued to say that later she contacted authorities, quote, on November 27th or November 28th, several days later, she said she did because after seeing the missing person poster for Jasmine on Facebook, and then she connected the dots of her last known location being the floor just above her. I just thought, quote, I just thought it was the right thing to do. Upon cross examination by the DA, how long after the scream did you hear the garbage disposal? Burrow replied, probably about an hour. So the next the next witness for the prosecution, not the defense, was Travis Pace. Oh, whoa, wait a minute. We are on the defense's case right now. Prosecution rests. The defense case in chief now starts. Travis Pace, Jasmine's father. Now, this was very interesting. If you have time to go back and watch, go back and watch. It was actually quite shocking. He described what he did upon learning his daughter was missing on November 26th. The night started, in quotes, sorry. The night started. It was like a Saturday night. We were doing Friendsgiving downstairs. It was near Thanksgiving, of course. and I was with my girlfriend at the time. My daughter called me and said, Jasmine is missing. It's serious. End quote. In the early morning hours of November 27th, Pace went to Shen's apartment building at 110 Tremont, Tremont Street, entered the unlocked back door, and started knocking on every door in the apartment building. Pace testified that he met a man in a stairwell who he said knew of Jason Chen. When asked by the defense attorney Weiss, why didn't you call the police before going into the apartment building? Pace responded, quote, I did. I tried to call the police department. I tried calling the FBI. I called the TBI. It was a Saturday night. It was after hours, so you only got the leave a message. Now, there are a lot of people around here who believe that that was not accurate, that he could have talked to an individual. Not always. Pace testified he managed to get into Sheehan's apartment, which in which he entered with a gun in one hand and a flashlight in the other. Why he was not brought up on charges for breaking and entering with a weapon, I don't know. Travis Pace testified that while he and Jason Shen's apartment on the morning of the 27th, he found Jasmine Pace's driver's license and credit cards inside a drawer. Pace said he took those out of the drawer so the police investigator would see them. He stated he searched the apartment and found his daughter's driver's license credit card in that drawer. Pace said he removed them from the drawer and put them above the drawer because he said he believed that the police officer would not have been able to open the drawer to see those items without a search warrant, and that he claimed they would be taken as hearsay. Okay. Katrina and Travis Pace were in the hallway. The mother and the brother, I guess it was in the hallway of Jason Chen's apartment, taken from Chattanooga police body cam. They actually had footage of this part. The police arrived. Pace said he had taken the left of the apartment Pace says he then left the apartment and contacted the police, who soon arrived on scene and spoke to him in person. On cross-examination, DA Wamp, WAMP, asked about a photo posted on Jasmine's Facebook page that was captioned, "Enjoy Thanksgiving, my baby." The post was literally a match to a lit fireplace. Pace testified because it was not a modest photo that it was posted on Facebook, and anyone that knew Jasmine knows that she would not have posted that. And it was from a different timeline of the photos. It was not recent. So they're claiming here that Shin made that post. Pace said firmly members also noted by her tattoos in the photo that the photo Jasmine posted was taken long ago. At the onset of her testimony, Travis Pace said that he was not expected to be called to testify by the defense. Now, this is a huge statement here. The prosecution had Travis Pace on their witness list. They subpoenaed him, but the defense did not have him on the witness list, nor did they have him. Or wait a minute, maybe they did have him on the witness list, but they didn't subpoena him. Travis was caught totally off guard and was bewildered when the prosecution called him to the stand. The trial then comes to a halt as the defense tries to argue it should admit the testimony of crime scene expert Johnny Lawrence. We had a long voir dire, or some people call it a long, I forget the word. So the defense argued that the jury should hear the testimony at the crime scene. We are still waiting for the news. Okay. Scene expert Johnny Lawrence, but the prosecutors argued that he did not have enough experience. Lawrence visited the crime scene twice on December 9th and 14th of 22, about a week after the body was found. So let me get back to that. Oh, I lost my, where is it? There it is. Sorry. I clicked on something and I lost my page. My apologies. Trying to get it set back up again. There we go. It's hard to read and keep going at the same time and have all these windows open. Lawrence visited, twice. The jury broke for lunch, but the defense attorney continued to make their case why the jury should hear Lawrence's testimony. The debate over whether Lawrence's testimony should be took up most of the early afternoons on the Saturday proceedings. Prosecution questioned Lawrence had enough experience to qualify as an expert. The debate went on almost all afternoon with the jury out of the courtroom. The judge ultimately did allow Lawrence to testify with certain limits. Lawrence testified that when he compared the body camera with the police first entered Chen's apartment, there was inconsistencies in the photos that the police took later, and there were. Defense, quote, would you agree the crime scene had changed when the officers went in versus the CSI? Lawrence, quote, it was very obvious. Photos of Jasmine Pace's scene compiled by the crime scene expert Johnny Lawrence, who testified for the defense. Lawrence stated, quote, once I started looking at the time scene pictures, I said, wait a minute, that ain't what I saw on the body cam. So I compared and I said, whoa, something's happened between the officer's crime scene photos and the people taking the pictures. Crime scene video, officer's body cam video, and the crime scene people taking pictures. The jury saw the comparison. Lawrence was highlighting differences he saw. Photos of Jasmine Pace's crime scene compiled by crime scene expert Johnny Lawrence also testified for the defense. Lawrence said that the crime scene had been contaminated even by walkthrough of the area in question. It may not be intentional, but it was contaminated. Well, we'll talk about that. The photos of the Jasmine Pace crime scene compiled by the crime scene expert with Johnny Lawrence continued. Quote, would you agree that the crime scene changed from when the officers went in versus the CSI team? Again, he said it was very obvious, and there were some more inconsistencies that were noted. There was a bloody handprint or something that resembled a bloody handprint. The defense expert witness testified that this could be the handprint of a blood transfer from either Jasmine or Jason. He says Chattanooga police never had it tested. The bloody handprint or something else. The defense testified that they should have had it tested, but failed to do so. Now, based upon the cross-examination, the witness said he couldn't come to a conclusion about what it was for sure. Now, we are coming up onto cross-examination. The prosecutors asked, quote, is it possible, sir, that it was actually seen on the crime scene as not a bloody handprint, bloody fingerprint, but where the cloth that had been folded over and had transferred may have happened that way? His answer was not necessarily, because you have to understand what the stain is showing as a variant of fingers and has blood on them. We don't know how much blood was on there if it was a hand. A bloody handprint or something else. The defense expert witness testified that it could have had a handprint and the blood transfer from either Jasmine or Shin. He says Chattanooga police never tested it. That's something they harped on. Um, Earlier in the prosecution's case, just minutes after court convened on Saturday morning, the prosecution rested its case. Uh, there was, as always, a motion to have it thrown out, where the defense says that the state had not met its threshold and asked the judge to dismiss. The judge's response was, I'm going to take a breath for a minute, check the feed. We are still waiting for court feed. Did they change? Did they change? Was that yesterday's or today's? That's yesterday's. Okay, we're still waiting. The fact that there were judges' comments, quote, the fact that there were so many wounds on the victim is a fact that can be used to establish premeditation. The defense attempt to cover up the scene, to clean it up afterwards. His purchase of cleaning agents, he attempted to clean the apartment. Oh, stop. Okay. He used the victim's cell phone to create an appearance that she was still alive and simply left town, perhaps. The fact that he used his own cell phone to send texts to the victim's phone, claiming he had no idea where she was, or perhaps, too, that she was still alive. All the evidence from the case law that can support the finding of premeditation is there. I do not find that taken in that light, this jury could find elements beyond reasonable doubt. I do find that they can find a cause for reasonable doubt or even elements of first degree murder. There we go. There is the road traveled thus far. Court has just hopped in. Let me get them on screen. I started a new medication and my mouth has been so dry lately. It is driving me batty. It's driving me batty. Simply batty. Let me get my camera up a little bit. The problem is when I put us in the two-person, it changes the angle, which there we go. Miss Diane, are you ready? I see you getting something. I took your mic off. What are you doing, beloved? She's coughing aggressively. Poor baby. She is recovering from a really nasty bronchitis that doesn't seem to want to vacate her body. Good morning, Miss Ronnie. Good morning, all of those who are watching. Greatly appreciate you being here. We are starting court this morning. Court has decided to go ahead, to go ahead and work on this national holiday. We're giving Miss Diane a little chance to get her a cup of coffee. Are you ready? Are you talking to me or somebody else, love?
Then I
Oh,
have to
say that again. I had you mic.
do this for like 13 minutes and then I have to hop off.
Well, all you have to do, Diane, is I'll just do this. You can leave this up and running. You don't have to sever your link. And then if you have to do it on your end, but I'm not going to sever your link. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll mute you. Here we go. I'll try to hop on and do some interpreting. If you are relying on interpreting, please PM me and let me know. Because if I don't hear from you, I will not continue until I hear back from you. I know we had someone on this morning who was dependent on it, so we shall see. Volume is up, volume is up, volume is up. Everything is up and ready to go. I have everything at 100%. Court feed is on, but there is no volume. By the way, if you are new to this channel, please hit the like button. If you do, please put the words I like this in the comments. You will be entered into the drawing to be entered into the end of the month giveaway, which is a $50 gift card to Starbucks or a place of your choice. For every subscription you put in, you get entries. For every um, if you subscribe, you get entries. If you there it is. If you hit the like button and you put I liked, if you did sub, I sub. If you become a member, you get entries. And if you do super chats, you get 10 entries. So please join us. If you like giveaways, hop on in. Let's have some fun. Let me get back to comments. Hi, Penny Williams. How are you? Ronnie, you should have already put I liked. Natasha, put I liked. We are, hold on. I gotta get to my YouTube channel and see where we are at. We have 6 likes so far. Oh, shoot. Hold on. I didn't have the giveaway tool up. Let's see if it'll catch it. I'm sorry. I am not with it this morning. I thought I had it up and running. There it goes. Now it's up and running. Do that. Do that. Okay. Perfecto. Now it's up and running. And did it catch it? Yes, it caught the 1. So we're good. All right. It's up and running. Start putting the I likes up there so you can be entered. And if you don't like Starbucks and you like Jersey Mike's or whatever, I'll get you that. Diane, you can go and hit the like button and put I liked as well and be entered. We are now watching the court feed of the murder of Jasmine Pace. Testimony resumes momentarily. We are waiting to see if he actually testifies today. I know. Okay, I would love to read to you. I have a new channel description I am so excited about. I've been working hard at getting my channel a little more cleaned up, and the new description and a new photo for this channel is Ada K is a vibrant and inclusive space dedicated to following popular courts trials across the U.S., with a special focus on providing American Sign Language interpreting wherever possible. As a new and growing channel, our aim is to create a fun and engaging community where everybody is welcome, regardless of the abilities. Ada K's content is informative and entertaining as you dive into trials with a sense of humor and enjoyment. If you are passionate about legal proceedings and want to be a part of a supportive community, Ada K is a place for you. Yay! I know. I had to correct a typo. Okay, great. It published it. So that is our new description. Hi, Adair. Hello, everyone. If you need to go ahead and hop off, go ahead. It doesn't look like they're going to hop on. I mean, they're there, but they're not actually. Sorry, I unmuted you. My bad. I was talking to you and had you muted. We actually have a new picture for the channel, if y'all haven't noticed. That's an old picture, actually. A very old picture. So we just finished going over the road thus far, so yay. We do have the presidential feed in for the swearing in ceremony. I cannot broadcast the musician part of that, but I can and will broadcast the actual ceremony in which he's getting sworn in. So we will take a break from court when that does happen. I just feel I don't care what side of the fence you're on. This is a historical moment, and it is important that I feel like that we take a moment to honor the traditions of the country, and we will watch that. And if you don't want to watch it, and you want to hop back on when we come back, I'll be happy to do that. I shall be happy to take care of that. We are also getting ready. We've also made a lot of changes in our Discord, and I'm hoping that you guys will go on our Discord and take a look. If someone would please put the Discord on, that would be fabulous. Our Discord is been a process, and we're so excited that it's finished. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to As the Gavel Drops is the place to be to get all your court documents. If you love reading court documents and taking a deeper dive into what's happening, please go to As the Gavel Drops, register, validate your account. You must validate your account. If you don't know how to do that, they will help you before you can access documents. If you do access any of their documents and share it in a live feed or in a public place, please give credit to As the Gavel Drops because a lot of these documents are paid for. If you love to mod and you are also a what I call you just love modding and you love researcher. There it is, a research person. Please go to As Gavel Drops and let them know that you would love to be a mod for them. Ronnie, as per request, the viewers A to K will be signing. Yes, I will be signing myself and hopefully Miss Diane. We will go back and forth because there are going to be multiple people speaking. I always do Trump because I can understand Trump. I know how to follow along with his way of talking. I'm sorry, Miss Diane. And a lot of times his face is on the screen where the other person discussing or is whoever is swearing him in, they usually have a side view and I can't lip read. So, Diane, my apologies. I know you would love to be Trump today. We'll see. Maybe you can be Trump today. You yield to me or surrender to me. One person, that was a good thing for us to comment on. Somebody was saying, how come she's saying this? I know a little sign language, but that's not what. And I said, well, remember that there you can sign the same one word and it means multiple things. Yes, Diane?
It's concept.
Concept. Surrender and yield are the same sides, but it's on the mouth. That's what the word is. It's being used.
Think about
About
the word run.
run.
Running? Is it running? Is it running? Is it running? Yes. Yes. Right. Running. So many different ways.
It's okay. Have to get a new SIM card or phone today. So if you don't see me for a while, that's why. Adair, God bless you. That's always a horrible, long, drawn out process. SIM card replace is easy. New phone, that's another story. I loved coming into my office this morning. It was 21 degrees when I got up this morning. And when I got into my office, I keep the office door closed in the winter because it, let me get my weather up right now so I can see. It is 22 it feels like 22 degrees out right now. Oh, it is 22 degrees. Feels like 14
when when I
right
lived,
now.
when I lived in Nanwalek and I would walk to
Alaska.
school or even walk home in the afternoons, I literally felt like my eyeballs were grapes and they were going to pop and freeze.
Okay, so okay. Shin, we're watching the Motor Brigade right now.
Oh,
I
yeah.
do have court up, but there's no sound. Apparently Shin may or may not he may not testify. He just stood before the judge. The defense attorney announces, "Oh, he will be testifying today." So the different yeah, but we have no court sound for some reason. Um, but I just thought until the court actually moves their buns and gives us some sound. I'm skimming. Why don't we have sound yet? Why are we with no sound?
Ada K, while there is no sound, I'm going to get some water.
Go ahead, love. You may have to just leave and then come back in
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
Just go ahead and do that.
All right.
Bye, love. They are waiting for the jury to come in, but I just thought you guys might want to see the presidential motorcade. As we know that these vehicles right up here will have probably the president and first lady incumbent. This here is their family and closest friends. Also, just so you know, the presidential brigade, or I call them brigade, the presidential caravan carries. Oh, there is his son. He's a handsome little dude, not little tall dude. Anyway, they always have 2 ambulances behind them. People don't always see that. They are going to be picking up everybody and taking them. There are the children and grandchildren of the incumbent President Trump getting into the motorcade. Um, we still don't have sound in court. Let me go to another YouTube channel just to make sure that I am not having an issue. It is on their end, so we are gonna shimmy back a little bit. I'm going to share this. I'm gonna keep this up in the background, guys, okay? So don't panic. But we will watch the swearing in of the president. But, there is no sound coming from one feed, so I'm having to use another feed.
Raise your right hand.
Do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, Jason. You have the choice today of whether to testify or not testify. Is after talking with your attorney and
Good morning,
going through your own
ADHD.
thoughts, what is your decision of whether or not you want to testify?
Not to testify.
Choose not to testify.
Yes, sir.
That's why I just want to talk a little about how you talk about it with him. Talk over with him.
Yes. So, Jason, we've met a number of times. We've talked about what your testimony would be, and you understand that even though you might have an opportunity to say your piece, that you would be subject to cross-examination. And I've explained to you that the cross-examination would probably be very intense and relentless. And by subjecting yourself to that, you can change the status of your case. You can make it worse. You can make it better. That's the thing about testifying. You don't know how it's going to go, but it's important that you understand that you have an absolute right under the Fifth Amendment to testify. In your case, no one can prevent you. The judge, the court, no one is certainly not me, is stopping you from testifying. This has to be a personal choice. On the other hand, if you want to testify, there's nothing this court would stop you from doing that. So whatever it is that your decision is, it is a personal decision that only you can make. Have you had enough time to consult with me, talk about whether or not go over the benefits and detriments of testifying?
Yes.
Are you deciding not to testify on your own volition?
Yes.
And that's what your personal decision is?
Yes.
Jason, also, Tennessee law requires that the jury fix any fine greater than $50. You have the ability to waive that right and allow this court, Judge Patterson, to decide the amount of any fine, if any. We've gone over the benefits of allowing the court to decide versus the jury to decide. We've given you these recommendations. Do you want to waive your right to have the jury assess fines in this case?
Yes.
Mr. Chen, Mr. Weiss is a thorough attorney. I know he's gone over this with you before. He's obviously went over with you just in the podium I just need to make sure that I understand everything, that you have obviously consulted with Mr. Weiss, Ms. Morrison, that it is your constitutional right to testify or not testify. If you were to testify, you would be cross-examined by the state. However, while your attorneys can give you advice about their opinion, whether it's a good thing to testify or not testify, ultimately that is your decision. So your attorney asked you this, but now I'm asking. All that being said, it being your call and your constitutional right to testify or not testify, what is your decision?
Not to testify.
So you executed this waiver affirming that.
Yes, sir.
And as of
So he
tonight,
is not going to testify,
indicated
FYI.
that the jury does get to set fines over $50. Most people waive that. I see you signed a waiver here for having the jury set the fine, and you're allowing the court to set that fine, if any, correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. Council.
Wow, that's interesting. He is not going to testify. People thought he was. I thought he might. But I think that it would be detrimental for him to do so.
The defense is any more proof from the defense. I'll ask the state if any rebuttal proof, and if the answers are what I expect, we'll send the jury out again and have a call. Okay? All right. Bring the jury, please.
Bring the jury.
Boy, I think they have moved the presidential swearing in ceremony to an indoor venue. This is because of the weather and the safety of everybody involved. Right now, all of the honored guests and everybody are coming in. Just outside the Capitol here, I'll show this now. Just outside the Capitol, you see the helicopter that will take the current president, Joe Biden, and Mrs. Biden, Dr. Biden, away. It's a traditional change of power. Holy crap! Sorry. Okay, I'm not going to be interpreting that part of it because we have too much involved. Um, Okay, I just interpreted what I said. We're going to be going back and forth between the the case and the celebrations. But I am shocked. It was indicated that Shin wanted to testify, but as happens in cases, when it goes through, hold on. Why this one channel does not have any sound, I do not know. So I'm just going to pop that down so I'm not confused. So let me just say this. Let me get it back up. This one back up for you guys. I had 2 of those windows open. We will be popping back and forth. No, you're on the wrong one. The court audio. Can you hear this court audio? Oh, sunny day. Welcome. I wish I had a sunny day. It is so cold. It is 21 degrees at 11 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning.
The witnesses called out of the defense,
Cold.
tipped the balance to the degree where, looking at the evidence, the light most favorable to the state, that any rational finder of fact could not find the element of the offense. Again, this isn't a finding of guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. It's simply a finding that allows.
So they're going to be going through the court. Let me put it this way. Let me do this. They are going to be going through the court. I'll put that one there. That one there. That's much easier for me. They're going to be going through the court document, the court stuff. So here we go. Let me get her playing. There we go. I had to change my layout. I'm one monitor down at the moment. The feed that we've been using, for some reason, their audio is down. Okay, guys, this is an important change. I'm going to pop it over here. I paused it. Let me see what the sound says here.
Everyone out of the White House was to take these big punch bowls outside and get the people to leave the White House.
And Jim,
So
I just wanted to pause as President-elect Donald Trump has now arrived at the White House. President
Oh
Biden
my
and
gosh,
First
doesn't
Lady
she
Jill
look
Biden
gorgeous as always?
welcoming, Trump and Melania Trump right there. I am going to
Wow.
raise the audio again. We might not be able to hear much, but let's listen in.
Guard your ears, everyone. Trump is like, I love Melania's pretty woman. It looks like the pretty woman scene with the hat, just reversing colors. It was more white with black. Oh, she looks stunning. I will tell you, I don't care if you like them or not. That woman knows how to dress. I love the way she's dressed. All right, back to court.
Lesser included offense. Further, the state has included many cases of first-degree premeditated murder in which the trial courts excluded.
34 degrees for you, Ronnie? Oh my gosh.
The case law is very, very clear on this, Judge. A murder will only
I'm nice
be
and
reduced to
toasty in my
voluntary
office.
manslaughter when the provocation
The computer keeps
was
it very
caused
warm.
by the victim. Adequate provocation is an element of voluntary manslaughter, as is state of passion. The defense has put on zero proof of state of passion, or more importantly, adequate.
The state doesn't have to prove anything. You have 100% of the burden of the proof. Now, if the state is saying that this was not first degree murder and putting on a case for the trying to get it thrown out or whatever on the crime of passion, then it is their burden of proof. But right now, this trial is on you, boo-boo. They don't have a motion in front of the court to change the charge from the first degree murder to a lesser charge. They're not doing that. They're so why are you? I'm confused.
By the victim. Pieces of glass of the nature that the jury saw underneath the futon are not any type of proof of adequate provocation. A witness who heard a female scream in quote distress 7 minutes before the location was sent to Katrina Bean is not evidence of adequate provocation. The jury instructions simply according to the law should not be given to this jury. They have no evidence, no proof whatsoever of adequate provocation. The cases are interesting. The cases are similar. The courts in each case, when there was some type of argument, in fact, Judge, the cases, in all cases, there is proof of arguments. There is proof of passion, even in some of our cases. But the courts found that adequate provocation by the victim is required and was not found in cases with actual arguments. There has been no proof in this case of an argument. There has been zero proof of even an argument in this case. A much lower threshold than what courts have found in the cases that the state cites. And the reason this was not proper, Judge, is because the state had to be brought before today, is because the state had to wait for the defense to rest. The state didn't.
I hope you know I was just trying to be lighthearted.
Sure. Well, good. Yeah, but procedurally, I hope that all parties understand why this couldn't be raised. But it's the law. And so it can be a lesser included, as the court asked, but it is not a right of the defendant to have this instruction given by the court. We would ask that it be excluded based on the law, Judge.
While you're here, I mean, I'll throw my here a few Mr. Weiss, but I can tell you is that the threshold to charge an offense, the jury instruction, is less than a preponderance. It's not much at all. And like the motion earlier about the judgment.
Just FYI, I wanted you to see this is where the swearing-in ceremony is going to take place in the rotunda of the U.S. Capitol. They did move it inside due to the extreme weather, which, hallelujah, somebody finally got smart. I don't understand why you have to have it outside where everybody's standing in the freezing cold. And due to social media and the ability that we have nowadays to watch in the comforts of our homes, offices, or whatever. Personally, I think this is a wise decision, and it looks nice too. Just thought you might want to see it before it gets called full of people. And there you go.
Is taken in favor, like
8 degrees blue giraffes. Oh my God. Hello, Blue Giraffe. Thank you for joining us. Stay warm in West Virginia. Oh my gosh. Stay warm. That's horrible.
There was some type of fight, whether the fight was.
Please comment, like, and subscribe. If you liked, please put I like to be entered into today's entry to be entered into the end of the month drawing.
Between two people who were in a domestic relationship of some kind. And if I recall Dr. Cogswell's testimony, when Mr. Weiss was cross-examining him, the testimony about the knife being held in the same position, I think Dr. Cogswell indicated that it would have come very fast, without much movement, on the part of the defendant. And I believe the language that Mr. Weiss got out of him was either heat of passion or heat of excitement. So that's what I recall. If you want to respond to that, you can now. If you want to wait for Mr. Weiss to flesh it out.
Well, heat of passion is not mutually exclusive with premeditation. Most first-degree murders involve passion to some extent, right? And so, in our cases like this, I don't believe that even if you give Mr. Weiss the benefit of the doubt and say, there was proof of an argument. According to Tennessee case law, that's not enough for adequate provocation. There was also proof introduced that there was chasing from the bedroom of the apartment to the front door. I think that could negate any type of argument that it was a heat of passion where there was an argument going on. I think that that could indicate to a reasonable juror that she was trying to run away. Right? And so I don't believe the proof on the record supports any type of adequate provocation, Judge. Even
By the way, I want to share this. I didn't know that they had done this. They had opened up, I don't know, I guess it's some kind of whatever the stadium is that's here. They have opened up the stadium to the public and they can watch on the Jumbotron as the president is sworn in. That's pretty freaking cool. That'd be cool. Okay, back to court. I hope I made that switch. Did y'all see the switch? Hopefully you did. Sorry.
Dr. Cogswell's testimony, often in first degree cases, gunshots are fired back to back to back to back. I don't think it matters that the stabs happen. If the stabs happen 1 second after 1 second, you still have 60 seconds of stab wounds. So respectfully, the state will always trust the sound discretion of the court, but respectfully, I believe that the law supports no instruction on voluntary manslaughter.
Firstly, Your Honor, this looks like a well-written motion, and it's been written for some time.
That was a stab.
My modus operandi. I would love to be able to go through this.
Oh my God, that was a stab.
Case and look at any subsequent case law on it, and also search for case law.
I don't either here anymore. At 8 degrees, yeah, I'm not complaining. My office is 70 degrees right now.
Ruling on this after you argue. You don't have to sit down and after looking at this and trusting that the whole case, the essence of the case is in the state's motion. I'd love to hear your argument, but we'll take a break and give you some time to look at it if you wish.
Even if I can't do an adequate job in 5 or 10 minutes.
I'm saying if you want to take, again, this is important enough where if we're closing today, I want to give you not as much time as, as possible. I want to give you as much time as possible under the circumstances.
They may close today because he didn't have time to read the motion. This was a last minute motion.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, case 1. They are trying to do jury. Let me do this. Hold on. Both sides have rested. The defendant has chosen not to testify. We went through that process. I want to hear then what she called this motion because she put forth the motion and I missed.
Was caused by included 3-1.
Okay, so let's hear what she says. Oh, negative ADHD. Where is that? Bless you, child. Bless you, child.
I don't believe the witnesses called by the defense tipped the balance to the degree where, looking at the evidence, the light most favorable to the state, that any rational finder of fact could not find the element of the offense. Again, this isn't a finding of guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
Good one, Blue Giraffes. Toronto, Canada. Oh yeah, that's freaking cold. But y'all used to it. We not.
Okay, I see a motion to exclude voluntary manslaughter.
Yes, Your Honor, would you like to say the argument?
Motion to exclude voluntary manslaughter. Okay. So what she's arguing is the motion to exclude voluntary manslaughter because she feels that the state did not prove that in their case. They were stating that this was a crime of passion. That is what they had to prove because that was something that they put forward before the court for a lesser than, and they did not prove. They did not, in her words, she doesn't feel that they have proven that for a lesser charge.
My modus operandi. I would love to be able to go through this, but to fine-tooth comb and shepherdize each case and look at any subsequent case law on it, and also search for case law that would provide perhaps the opposite conclusion if it existed. I doubt I
Also, of course, I can make a ruling on this after you argue. You don't have to sit down and after looking at this and trusting that the whole case, the essence of the case is in the state's motion. I'd love to hear your argument, but we'll take a break and give you some time to look at it if you wish.
Even if I could I can't do an adequate job in 5 or 10 minutes.
I'm saying if you want to take, again, this is important enough where if we're closing today, I want to give you not as much time as, as possible. I want to give you as much time as possible under the circumstances. So we could break till about 10:30, give you a chance to look at some of these cases. If you get into it and decide you need some more time, we certainly will.
Yes, Your Honor. Would the state be courteous enough to send me an additional copy of this?
Amen.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
We'll send it to you in this morning.
Okay, so the court will be in recess till 10:30, and Mr. Weiss, you get your answers sooner or later, please let me know.
Court is in recess till 10:30. I'm going to let this here for a second. I gotta do a comfort break for the dog real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, everybody. I wish I could do a split. Well, let me get me back on scene. I wish I could do a split window between both feeds at this point, but I cannot. Maybe one day I will. I'm trying to figure out my technology in order to do so. Okay. Let me see what they're saying.
Happening as we speak. We saw a lot of that last week. It's going to pick up this week as well. These are the people Trump has chosen to help him lead and plan the agenda for the next 4 years. And so you see them all there, get off that charter bus. Pam Bondi, Kristi Noem, Pete Hegseth.
Yeah, for reals. I opened my office door because if it gets too hot, it's not good for my computer, and that cold air just came rushing in. I'm like,
and actually we see some of the outgoing members as well, perhaps, as everyone is seated right here. So, we are awaiting the arrival of both President-elect Donald Trump and President Biden. They, of course, are having their pre-inauguration ceremony as we continue to see, individuals trickle, but also, as we take a live look right here, this is historic in nature because this is atypical, Andrew. This is not something that we traditionally see every 4 years with the swearing-in ceremony. I did want to share this with our viewers as well. As you can see, a live look there, a larger, more extensive view of the Capitol building right there where everyone is congregating. And of course, as we have been sharing
usually it's out here,
about, there, of course, is a reason why.
but with the
when
weather,
it comes to the fact that the mall is completely empty. No one is in attendance.
that is unusual.
No one is allowed to congregate there because of the frigid weather. And so I did want to share that with our viewers as well. And a beautiful live look right here. From the from the rooftop, I should say, of the Washington Monument, and this really giving us a clearer picture. We see the
look at
American
the
flag there, waving in the wind, and the wind chill making it even feel like single digits right here.
I feel
as we
sorry for the
continue,
guys up on the rooftop.
to await the arrival of President.
This is when it sucks to be a sharpshooter.
And of course, President Biden.
Just saying.
Yeah, that was a really cool shot there atop the White House. To your point, the flag's still at half staff. If we have the inside of the rotunda, we can point out some of the people that are there. I think that would be helpful for some people watching, because to your point, Stephanie, it is going to be a who's who of the federal government. It's going to be a who's who of Washington. But world leaders are also in attendance. I believe I saw the Argentinian president, Javier Milei, and other former world leaders as well. So we'll do our best pointing out these individuals.
Thank you, Kellyanne, for liking. I greatly appreciate you.
Members of Congress, incoming and outgoing members of both administrations here. That's always, to your point, interesting to see who's there and who's not, who's seated next to who and who's standing maybe. But we're finally getting a live picture inside of the rotunda. We were wondering how this was all going to look because they had to pull it together so quickly. And there you see more of these individuals walking into Congress there. And if I recognize anyone, I will definitely point them out here. Looks like Tulsi Gabbard there, Vivek Ramaswamy, other members of the incoming Trump cabinet, and some of the staffers who will work in the second Trump White House.
Sorry, I've got that way air blowing. Oh, that's a
Upon
great
confirmation,
picture
folks, there's Elon Musk.
of the wildland firefighting crew. And the woman's in it, which is unusual.
And
Maybe if
Andrew,
we can see if we can hear some of the natural sound, that's always interesting too.
it is, and we can see the inside of the rotunda as this, they continue to, weave through shots right here. But, as we take a moment to pause, I do want to bring in Rebecca Castor with Fox News as well as we continue our live coverage right here. And Rebecca, we're taking a live look from inside the Capitol Rotunda as we see lawmakers, officials, and really the who's who of Washington and the business industry, arrive ahead of this swearing-in ceremony. We see the Capitol building right there behind you as we are awaiting the arrival of President-elect Donald Trump. Security, of course, top of mind. Thousands of law enforcement officers spreading out across Washington, D.C. to make sure that what happens is as seamless as possible, a hustle and bustle, if you will, ahead of the swearing-in ceremony. So, can you set the scene for us right now?
Hey, Stephanie, good morning. So speaking with other reporters on our Fox team who have covered inaugurations here in D.C. in the past, they're saying that this security feels a lot more ramped up than previous inaugurations.
Yeah,
So even though they've
800
moved indoors, security is
troops
still
have
red
been
hot.
moved
They
into
have the Capitol
Washington,
building pretty
D.C.
much
It
locked
should
down like
be.
a fortress. There are miles and miles of fencing all around the Capitol building, as well as some of the nearby streets. It's really hard to travel by car here in downtown D.C. right now. People are saying that they've been having to walk for several miles to get to some of these locations. But yesterday, thousands of police officers from across the country arrived here in D.C. They were sworn in by the local police chief, and they have been given police powers to help out the D.C. Metro Police as well as the Capitol Police as well. They're expecting at least 19 different protests to possibly happen around the district today, so we're going to be monitoring that. We know that they're going to have drones out, also monitoring events from the sky. So if anybody is here watching locally and they see drones in the air, that is likely what they are doing, monitoring some of these events. A lot of things are going to look different today than they have in the past now that this inauguration is moving inside the Capitol. It's been 40 years
I would
since
think
the
that.
president was sworn in inside the Capitol Rotunda.
Wow.
Those lawmakers that are entering now to the Capitol Rotunda, that's an exclusive invitation. We're told only about 600 people are going to be able to sit inside the Capitol to be able to watch the swearing in happen in person.
Okay, I'm going to be careful because I don't want to get a copyright strike, but I will tell you that that is so true, that this is a very, very exclusive club that is now in the rotunda, in the nice warmth of the rotunda. I'm sure it's not as warm as it is in my office, but I will tell you it's much warmer than sitting outside in that cold. It is briskly cold out there, and so I think that was a wise decision on everybody's part. We are waiting. Let me catch you up on the road thus far today in court. The defense had the case in chief. They came in. Jason Chen spoke to the judge and has opted not to testify on his behalf, and they have rested their case with the last witness being Mr. Lawrence, who did not agree with the prosecution's forensic abilities. Let's just put it that way. So, anyway, now they are arguing. The state has put forth a motion to take off a lesser than charge because they feel that the prosecution did not prove. Let me get my camera where it needs to be. There we go. the defense did not prove that this was a crime of passion. Instead, I agree with Blue Giraffe. Puncture number 1 could be involuntary, but punctures 2 through 60 was please. I like the way you say it. Please. Yeah, for real. It's not. Oh, yes. When you live near water, it gets a lot colder. Hey, Kaylin. Good morning, Kaylin. Thank you so much for joining, everybody. I appreciate you. We are hopping back and forth from the inauguration to court. When the court is in recess, we will be watching the inauguration. I am not going to have a lot of voicing. I will have it off and on because I do not wish to get a copyright strike. I probably am going to get one anyway, or at least a demonetization of this video, which is fine. I feel this is too historical for us not to have a glimpse into what's happening. Let me put her on for a few minutes. And that is going to kill me right there. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my stream and take off the monetization because it's going to hit me. That one little lick of music is going to hit me. What do y'all think of my of the new thumbnail I created? I am having fun with new programs and softwares and all kinds of new things. I played a lot yesterday. Yeah, I did. I didn't get done anything I needed to do, but I had some fun playing. I'm going to turn off monetization so I don't have to worry about that part of it. Yes. I want to be able to bring this to you, but I do have to be careful for copyright. I think that anything like this right here that's being played across the national TV. Anybody want to help me on this? I don't know. This is my first time doing this with the situation with the inauguration or a news broadcast of this sort. Am I going to get a huge copyright strike if the music is playing? I don't know. I don't know. I can put my own on. Oh, I did. Let me go to the folder. Move this over here. My nose is itching. I do have some sound that I'm allowed to play because I paid for it. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted. But we'll see. How about that? We'll see. We'll add that music. We're just going to add different musics and see if I get in trouble. They'll tell me and I'll say, I'm sorry, I have a paid subscription for this. Oh, that's not what I wanted. What does this say? No.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not what I wanted. Didn't want that. That's not background music. That's that's not background music. Oh, that's not background music. Oh, okay. That's not going to happen right now. I'm going to have to wait till I'm off alive in order to do that. Oh, I've got some fun sound effects. What'd you think about the sound effects? Ha yeah. That was funny. Okay, that's funny. Let's see what these are. Could y'all hear the snarling of a dog? It's intense. That was intense. Okay, let me get down to this. So I'll play it for y'all. I'll put it over here. Might as well just, what the heck? We got time to kill. So let's go ahead and put it. This is the snarling dog. Oh, it's downloading. Give it a sec. Here's a snarling dog. No, police chatter. So I'm getting some of those funny sounds for the Karen Reed trial. I'm trying to get it some of this fun stuff for the Karen Reed trial. Because, well, I think it would be funny to have some sound effects for certain personnels on the Karen Reed trial. I want to go all out for that trial. Once again, you have a bunch of people arriving. Are they talking or are they playing music?
Continue to see this, but I do want to pivot now because we do see here the departure there at the White House, as we do see Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff and soon to be First Lady Vice President there, and we are waiting in. I'm going to raise the audio as we are expecting President Biden and President-elect Donald J. Trump to.
I hope y'all enjoy
departing
sound
as
effects,
well
as we're going to have some
momentarily.
fun ones for the Karen Reed trial. Yeah, I am expanding. I just don't understand why you can't hear my stream deck. So if this trial closes today, or while we're on verdict watch, I may take some time out to contact Stream Deck and have them help me figure out what's going on with my Stream Deck and why I can't hear it. Y'all can't hear it. Do me a favor. I'm going to play a sound. It's an air horn. Tell me if you hear it.
With the incoming Second Lady Usha Vance there, leave the White House.
Cooper
We know
Proctor.
tea is happening between the
I don't
Bidens
think he's
and
going to
Trumps as we
testify.
speak, but we were seeing a
But
slew
if
of
he should
dignitaries there,
testify,
enter
I don't
into the
know. I got to
Capitol
come up with
Rotunda,
something for Cooper Proctor.
including many
Not sure
members
what yet, but
of
we'll
the
come up
House
with
and
something.
the Senate. You also, I'm not sure if some of our viewers caught.
I
saw
assume you
Chief
didn't hear the
Justice
air
of the
horn.
Supreme Court John Roberts there walking into the rotunda, and from what I understand, I believe he will be administering the oath of office. Trump has 2 Bibles that will be used to administer the oath, his mother's Bible,
Cooper
and then, of
Proctor may
course,
have a fart sound.
the very famous Lincoln Bible from 1861 that's been a hallmark. It's been a tradition for many inaugurations past. So just a really beautiful live look. Let's keep listening.
Ready, folks. Ready.
Coast Guard right there. Woohoo! I'm a Coastie brat. My father was in the Coast Guard. So you will always hear me cheer for Coast Guard. Always hear me cheer for Coast Guard. I think Coast Guard gets a bad rap. People have no clue what the Coast Guard does for us and how wonderful they are and how they protect us. A lot of people don't root for the Coast Guard, but I will. Always will root for Coast Guard. I am a definite Coastie brat. And those who are not U.S., when we are called brats in the military, that means that we are children of a military personnel. Brat, not in the term derogatory. I don't take it that way. I'm a military kid.
In these parts, I have to be honest with the viewer. It is my favorite.
Cooper
just
Proctor
to see
has a
who's
fart
talking
sound,
to
but
who
you can't hear
and
it
who's
yet.
not talking to who, and who's greeting each other, and who's turned their body language away from each other. It is fascinating, and almost the former speakers there, right in the front, kind of unofficially acting as a greeting line for so many members there of the House. Many Republican members right there. You
I
see
forgot
Chip
to
Roy,
show this to y'all.
you see Brian Stile from Wisconsin, and others there.
Okay, guys, we had a winner yesterday in the drawing. I was not here to draw it. Y'all were not here. So I drew it yesterday. I'm going to share the picture. This is the person who won yesterday's drawing to be in the giveaway for the Starbucks tumbler. Congratulations to Missy Michigan. I appreciate you so very much. B Michigan, you won an entry into the Starbucks tumbler Starbucks gift card at the end of the month. So congratulations. You are in. Let me get it back on the
Have heard from a lot of people, people who come from all over the country to be here for Inauguration Day. Pretty disappointing.
There's a lot of them.
And to your point, the National Mall right now, not a soul in sight. And that is never the case on these Inauguration Days. It is teeming with thousands of people. And you see there some of the members of Congress, Mike McCall there from Texas, Marcy Kaptur from Ohio,
Woohoo, Texas
from New York, Byron Donalds from Florida there, Mike Waltz, the incoming National Security Advisor. Of course, remember, he had to resign his House seat in order to take this role. This is not a Senate-confirmed role, National Security Advisor. And you see so many others from the Texas Republican congressional delegation there.
And also, Andrew, what's interesting is, of course, obviously, all of this has had to pivot from an outdoors event to an indoors one, and the reason being that it was too bitterly cold outside. And now one has to wonder, with hundreds and hundreds of people packing inside the Capitol Rotunda, how warm it's going to get inside.
Really nice and toasty. They're going to be comfy.
When you have so many people packed shoulder to shoulder, it does get very warm. And, it is going to be interesting to see, as you mentioned, the interaction between the people as we continue to see that interaction. I did want to just allow our viewers to just absorb and be part of this as we continue to raise the audio and just listen in and, just take stock of this historic event.
Yes. I'm trying to not get copyright, but I'm probably going to get one. We zapped Ada K. What is that? We zapped? I don't understand. For those of you who noticed, I'm so appreciative because some of you noticed I've lost some weight. I've lost little over 25 pounds. The only bad thing is now I'm getting this thing. I'm going to walk around looking like this. So I'm sticking my chin out like a turtle. I'm turtling. I'm getting a cracker. We zapped. I really wish you guys could hear the sound effects because, yeah, I've got a nice, strong sound for Proctor. Okay, what do you mean policy problems? I'm losing it. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm going to get hit. I took off the demonetization. I took the monetization off. Maybe that will help. Uh-oh. Hi, Barbara. So it's okay. Right now, court is in recess. The defense is reading a motion and preparing his answer that the state put forward this morning after prosecution and defense are both rested. The defendant chose not to testify, which is his prerogative. So she is arguing, the prosecution is arguing that the lesser should be removed and voluntary manslaughter should be removed from the jury instruction because prosecution did not prove crime of passion. That is what they're saying. Okay, back over here.
I believe coming out, maybe not.
I just wanted to let our viewers know we see the doors opening once again. That, of course, is Vice President-elect J.D. Vance alongside Vice President Harris. They, too, will be sharing a motorcade. And to your point, Andrew, you were mentioning it's going to be interesting to see what First Lady Jill Biden and Melania Trump will be speaking about. Now you have Vice President Harris and J.D. Vance sharing a vehicle. You know,
Hance, it's Vance, my dear.
You know, as they
not
make their
Hance.
way to the Capitol Rotunda, we continue to talk about.
Did she
the
say,
political
or is that my
dynamics.
captioning being wrong?
And you know, it's always interesting. We see them. They only know what's happening inside that vehicle, of course, alongside, you know, Secret Service.
I wouldn't say a word.
They too are departing the White House. And finally, as we pivot the view right there back to the front doors, you know, we are expecting to see President-elect Trump and President Biden to.
Okay. Yeah, no. Oh, well, never mind. Here we are.
There arriving at the Capitol Rotunda, as we do see the limousine that is set to depart the White House right here. And I did just want to pause on this live look as we are.
Okay, they've come back into court. What do y'all think? I don't think that they should have a lesser. It bothers me that they are all now automatically having lessers. I don't believe there should be a lesser, in all honesty.
I'm pretty just after looking at each respective motions, let those sides know where I'm at the moment. Feel free to argue accordingly. As far as voluntary manslaughter in general, again, the threshold is not even a preponderance. I'm not saying this even not even an arrestable thing. However, it seems like the evidence shows that the defendant and Ms. Pace were in a relationship, that at the time this happened, there was some type of argument, there was a heat of passion, some type of heat of passion of some type, you know, where, you know, in a negative way, where there was an argument, a fight based on what the neighbor downstairs reported, to the degree that there were footsteps. And so, again, while this would not be chargeable at all, the standard is taken the light most favorable to the defense. It seems that for voluntary manslaughter, that it should be at least be charged. You can certainly argue that the elements do not satisfy that. At this point, that's where I am. Feel free to argue differently if you want to add to that. Mr. Weiss, I don't see any evidence of intoxication, you know, other than the victim buying hemp, and the medical examiner's testimony was a little equivocal on that, but there was no, I don't recall any type of toxicology indicating any level of impairment on the victim. That's not even talking to the defendant, but that even substances were consumed that night. There might have been.
And we're back. Yes, we're back.
That night. As far as self-defense as well, I don't think that's been fairly raised at this point either, simply because, you know, the deadly force that was used, the victim, the defendant would have to be shown to be in reasonable fear of his life to use deadly force. I don't think that's been raised at all. That's where I am, so feel free to, either side wants to start, you certainly can.
Your Honor, surprisingly, I concur with this court's thoughts regarding the voluntary manslaughter. I think the case law is pretty clear when a lesser included should be included in jury instructions. And I think it is fairly obvious here that there's been certain improvements. You heard the testimony from Courtney Brewer, Paglino, that established an testimonial argument took place shortly before the incident. She was caught here yelling and the sound of people running. She heard a woman, specifically a woman, arguing emotionally, so we heard that.
We're talking voluntary manslaughter at this point?
Yes, just voluntary. And then as far as Dr. Cogswell is concerned, the support hit upon the injuries sustained by Ms. Pace were frenzied and erratic, committed in a way that's consistent with the heat of passion and excitement that corroborates the defense's argument that he acted emotionally and overwhelmed and overreacted. There's often proof that that is adequate provocation. It doesn't necessarily have to be a physical provocation. It can be an emotional or psychological. It could be just words. I think that Ms. Brewer also established that. Then there's the Tennessee courts have repeatedly held that voluntary manslaughter instructions are appropriate when there's evidence of adequate provocation, heat of passion, cases of State v. Williams, State v. Eli. It's not the court's role to assess whether the defendant's serious case is credible, whether it is supported by any evidence in the record. Here, the combination of the eyewitness accounts, forensic testimony, the contextual evidence supports the conclusion of voluntary manslaughter.
Does the state want to argue anything beyond what's already argued?
Your Honor, again, the state understands the court's position. We disagree with it. And there's been holdings that by the Tennessee Supreme Court and Court of Appeals that, quote, it is true as a general rule that no provocation by words alone will reduce the crime of murder to that of manslaughter. So even if an argument is established, the state still doesn't believe that's enough for the record, but the state accepts and understands the court's analysis on voluntary manslaughter.
Okay. So based on what was presented in the court, again, for the record, the court's not finding heat of passion to the degree that the jury needs to find it, but to the degree that it gets charged where it's less than preponderance, taking the light most favorable to the defense. I do think that the fact that the victim and the defendant were in a relationship, that they had an argument to the degree that it woke up a neighbor downstairs. There's an argument that got physical, or I should take, there was definitely some footsteps involved during this particular passionate argument. So taking the light most favorable to the defense, I think we will charge voluntary manslaughter.
Your Honor, in regards to voluntary intoxication, the court will remember that when everyone entered the Jason Chen apartment, we pointed out the bomb on the desk. And so that was present throughout this entire case. That was well known. So we know that there were drugs in the apartment likely being used, or at least you can take that inference. In addition to that, there was the receipt by Ms. Pace that she had bought him that day. So there could also be an inference that she, I mean, when you buy hemp products, I would assume that you would buy them to use them. So there is it is a low threshold. There is no proof that Ms. Pace or the defendant was intoxicated at the time, but that will prove the defendant. Obviously, there was no toxicology at the time, but for Ms. Pace, they did do toxicology, but because of the interfering substance, we don't know the THC content, if any, in this case. So that would give an inference that there was marijuana use. As far as wine, there is talk about excessively open wine bottles that weren't finished, closed wine bottles. The court here heard about the glass. There was evidence that was introduced in the trial about the glass. I think that there is enough that raises enough about voluntary intoxication to include that as a jury.
You want me to?
Yeah, well, briefly, Judge, absolutely not. Because I have 40 bottles of wine and alcohol at my house right now does not mean that last night I was intoxicated. That's a silly argument. And there was no evidence of actual drugs in Mr. Chen's apartment. There was evidence of a bong. There was also evidence presented by multiple witnesses that the apartment had no smell of marijuana. The standard is not that you show that there was alcohol and a bong in a house. The standard would be that you show with sufficient proof that either party, but this would be arguing that Mr. Chen was intoxicated at the time of the offense. There has been absolutely zero proof of that. There was proof that the victim had no wine in her system at the time of the offense. Dr. Coswell testified that it should have still been in her system by the time the medical examiner's office took her blood, and cannabinoids actually had been tested and came back with a negative result according to Dr. Coswell. This does not meet the standard in any way, shape, or form of voluntary intoxication. In fact, under this argument, in every single case of murder where there was alcohol or bong in a house, then we've got a good argument for voluntary intoxication. That's not the standard, Judge.
She's right. She's right.
The court doesn't find that there was evidence of any intoxication.
I do too,
By either
Barbara.
much less by-
I do too, love.
I think that as low as the standard is to charge voluntary intoxication, there's such a paucity of evidence in this particular situation, the court's not going to charge voluntary intoxication.
In regards to self-defense. So first, I'm sorry, with the opening, there is an argument that could have been made that the defendant acted in self-defense. The defense's theory, however, is that the defendant overreacted and reacted excessively. And so self-defense isn't proper in this case. However, it is the province of the jury to decide whether or not if that was self-defense. The jury could think that the defense is wrong and that he didn't have a duty to retreat. He didn't have, and he didn't overreact. They could, however unlikely, could think that. They could think the defense's theory is wrong. As far as the proof at trial, Dr. Cogswell talked about the contusion on the side of his face, which is corroborative of the defense's opening, that he kicked her and she fell back. It is indicative that the broken glass is also probative of that same incident where falling back. We can see that something happens in the kitchen, living room area, but it ends up in the bedroom. How they get back there and all those different things, if the proof that came into the trial could show, or I'm sorry, the proof that did come to the trial could lead a reasonable juror to believe that Mr. Chen was acting in self-defense first and then overreacted as well.
State one for a minute.
Your Honor, the defense just said, quote, self-defense isn't proper in this case, pointing to opening statement. Mr. White is really ignorant of
Ouch.
in the state of Tennessee, and further, the idea that there's evidence that Mr. Chen kicked Ms. Pace is only evidence of further abuse. It is not evidence of
Yes, you guys.
self-defense. And so the state, again, would ask.
They're phenomenal.
Self-defense is a higher standard than voluntary.
Thank you, Ronnie.
When it comes to adequate provocation, there has been no proof presented by the state or the defense.
Richmond Homestead
that
Coffee.
Mr. Chen could have or did act with self-defense. It is not deserving of instruction.
All right, on this particular issue, what we do have is that the defendant, I believe, is 6'1", and, large individual. The victim's size is barely 5 feet, around 100 pounds. The only evidence of anyone having a deadly weapon is the defendant. There's no evidence that the defendant was put in a reasonable state of fear where he could have believed that self-defense would have been justified. So I don't think that self-defense has been fairly raised by the proof the court has heard. So that the request for self-defense instruction be denied.
Sure.
Okay. It is 15 to 11. A couple ways we can do this. I'd like to go ahead and need to prepare these charges. I did, as the parties know, I did have self-defense voluntary provocation in there for what your day would bring. I need to tweak the jury instructions. I'd like to go ahead and charge them. It'll probably take us to 11:40-ish, 11:50-ish, I would think. We can take a lunch break, come back and close at that point, or just go straight to closing after that.
Your Honor, the state would prefer that the court instruct the jury and then closing arguments be after lunch back to back. I would prefer the closing arguments not be split up. I don't think that's the best way to do it. And also in terms of jury instructions, there's a blank when it's the abuse of corpse instruction. There's a blank for that.
What
second
time did they say it was there now? Are they 2 hours ahead of us?
Disposing of the body in a way that's in violation of
That makes sense then.
stated in this blank. We would argue that that would be under TCA 39-14-505, which is aggravated criminal littering. It makes it aggravated if the littering, the matter of littering is over 10 pounds.
Then that would make sense if they're 2 hours. Yeah, I thought did he say it was 11 something?
That require a jury instruction on aggravated littering, so they can find out if it's in violation of it.
I think our jury instructions do contemplate the elements of the predicate offense to be instructed.
Or let me tweak these instructions, we'll be in recess until that's done. I'm not sure when that'll be, hopefully next 15 or 20 minutes. I'll give the parties a copy before we bring up to it. Okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
All right, let's hop on over here. And here we go. I did pause this for a few minutes. 2 hours difference. Okay. Nashville is 2 hours difference from Central Texas. Thought it was a 1 hour difference. Or they're not in Chattanooga. Look at them helping him get into the car, y'all. Oh gosh, come on now. Both the lady and current and President-elect Trump was helping President Biden get into the car. That is interesting. Now they're coming in.
Good morning, sir. How are you this morning? Good morning. Thank you. President Trump,
Who is that woman? You know, I got to be careful here. You know, it must be. I know whether you are for or against whomever, it doesn't matter. But when this changeover is very emotional for both sides, both for the outgoing and the incoming. Oh, Elon Musk, the new best friend.
Trump right there, First Lady Jill Biden, Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff, and others as they continue to make their way inside the rotunda for that actual swearing-in ceremony.
Yeah, and interesting. The Vances seem to be kind of trailing behind, leading the pack from behind, so to speak. I thought that was interesting there. You see J.D. Vance and Usha
Kind of
Vance,
a humble dude.
Coming into the rotunda there. Biden and Trump kind of walking somewhat stone-faced there. Biden, when asked.
By the way, that big case right here that this guy is carrying, do y'all know what that is? I do. That is the button case with the codes for the presidents. So this goes everywhere the president goes, and there's always a gentleman like this or somebody carrying it of importance. And this is the nuke button. This is the button that they push when they're going to nuke someone. So that is what's in that bag there.
How's it going? He said, well, he and Trump.
And it is heavy.
Side, in unison, in tandem, walking in with.
It goes everywhere the president goes.
Behind,
literally.
And you can just feel the emotions in the room. I think it's so interesting that, and that's what's so unique and so miraculous about the American experiment is that political foes,
SpaghettiOs!
Nope. Alike can be in the same room. You see
that's the nuclear warhead button.
There,
machine.
Adelston. You see UFC chairman.
The launch button.
This is part of the Trump invitation list, so to speak. I'm going to be doing my best to point out some of these individuals, but you also saw there Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, speaking with Elon Musk as well. So, Stephanie, we're just waiting for President-elect Trump, President Biden, and all the other dignitaries to enter into the rotunda. There is a waiting area, kind of a holding room off the side, and you see members of the incoming Trump cabinet, all of whom, Stephanie, have yet to be confirmed, though their confirmation hearings are ongoing as we speak, and they will continue this week as well. You also see
I
incoming White House
absolutely
Chief of
love
Staff
singing
Susie
in a
Wiles there
rotunda. I've
in
sung
the
in
long
several.
white
They're
dress coat.
fabulous.
She was instrumental in the Trump
Acoustics are freaking
2024
amazing.
campaign, serving as co-campaign chairwoman with Chris LaCivita. And you see so many others: South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem, former Georgia Senator Kelly Loeffler, former New York Congressman Lee Zeldin, John Ratcliffe there, Trump's pick to lead the CIA, Kash Patel, Trump's pick to lead the FBI, and so many. I believe that's Vivek Ramaswamy, Kevin Hassett as well, and Tulsi Gabbard. So all of the incoming Trump cabinet members